My name is M. Jackson. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I am the director of peer engagement and support here at FreeFrom. And I am going to go ahead and turn it over to my co-lead on this amazing new program and let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anakaren. I also go by AK. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And before we get started, I just wanted to make a quick announcement in Spanish since I know we have some monolingual Spanish speakers here joining us. Quería decirles que la presentación va a ser en inglés. Así que si no entienden, no se preocupen, vamos a mandar a grabar la presentación que puede ver después. Y también vamos a mandar todos los materiales, incluyendo esta presentación en español. Si tienen cualquier pregunta, se puede comunicar con yo y con Em por correo electrónico y le vamos a responder todas sus preguntas por español también. Y también les queremos dejar saber que aquí en el equipo de FreeFrom estamos trabajando para hacer todos nuestros materiales, presentaciones accesibles en el lenguaje en el que se siente cómodo y cómoda. Así que en el futuro queremos tener todas esas presentaciones en español.
Thank you so much, AK. I really appreciate that and appreciate you being here. So, y'all, we are here to talk to you today about our brand new savings matching program. Very, very excited for this program that just launched. Very excited that you all have either accepted the invitation to join or you thinking about accepting the invitation. So today we're going to use this webinar to really touch on a different points, highlight different dates and different information for you to be able to refer back to and for you to have an opportunity to ask us questions as well. Next slide, please. So the agenda today, we'll talk about a little bit of housekeeping, talk about the creation of the program, the overview of the program, next steps, so you know exactly what to do and what will be coming as far as email and everything else to be able to join the program. And then we'll have an opportunity at the end for questions and answers. Next slide, please. So a few housekeeping notes, things to keep in mind. Today's conversation and the presentation slides will be made available to all those who registered. So we will be going ahead and you'll actually receive an email from me. And with that email, it will include the link to be able to go back and watch this entire presentation. So you'll be able to have that as a reference as you go through the program, and maybe you forget certain things, then you can always go back to that recording or always get in contact with myself or Anakaren. Also, feel free to use the chat function as well to interact with each other throughout the presentation. And then any questions that we ask of you, if you could go ahead and use the chat feature to respond to those questions. All right, next slide. So what we like to do, if you've ever been a part of a FreeFrom presentation, is really make sure that we are practicing grounding before we dive into different topics. So I would like to invite you to participate in the grounding activity. So if you could take a few deep breaths, close your eyes if you would like. Sit comfortably, or perhaps choose a body position that feels good for you, that feels good for you to be able to receive information. And then make sure that you're checking in with yourself. How are you feeling? Is there anything that you're bringing with you? Anything that you are leaving behind? And as always, if there's anything that is discussed throughout the presentation that may feel a little bit triggering for you, feel free to go ahead and exit out of the webinar. Again, you'll receive the recording so you can be able to access that information at a later time. So thank you all that accepted that invitation to the grounding. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So before we talk about why we created the program, how the program functions, we wanted to really hear from y'all. And so we have a few questions, 3 questions, and I asked that if you are able to, if you could respond to these questions via chat. And it helps for all of us to be able to see where each other is as we decide to participate in this program together. So the first question is, what do you want to save for? Of course, this is a savings matching program. So is there anything specifically that you want to save for? Is there any obstacles that you feel you would face when saving or trying to save? Or have there been any obstacles you faced in the past? And then do you have any ideas on ways to help yourself save? So to help to make sure you're getting the most out of this program. So again, the questions that you see on the screen, if you can choose to answer all of them, or you could choose to answer one of them or two of them. So what I see coming up in the chat is housing, that income could be an obstacle, emergency fund for savings, increase in emergency fund, not budgeting could be an obstacle, travel, saving for travel, emergency fund continues to come up. That's awesome. Rebuilding their life and paying off debt, um, saving for future financial goals, emergencies as well, family needs, family court related. A lot of great responses when we think about it. And it's a variety as well. And I think that's important to think about, that it can be something that is just for you. It doesn't have to match what everyone else is thinking about when it comes to saving, and it can change over time. So we wanted to make sure we started with this so we can see where folks are, when they're thinking about saving and thinking about even joining a program such as this. So I appreciate those that decided to answer those questions. Okay, next slide, please. So why did we create a savings matching program? Why specifically an in-house savings matching program? Many of you had participated in the Saver Life savings matching program that we had before. And one of the challenges of that program is that you have to have a bank account. And we know that as survivors, it's some folks that don't have access to a bank account for a variety of different reasons. It might not be the best decision for them financially. They might, not have access, whatever it may be. We wanted to make sure that we're able to take the information we receive from that savings matching program and really design our own. And so we actually had, many of you may also have participated in the survey that we sent out to folks to ask, what would you be looking for in a savings matching program? So we use that to listen to your voices and create the building blocks of the program that we just recently launched. So we wanted to make sure that we had flexibility. That flexibility is extremely important in all of the programming that we have at FreeFrom. So we knew that that had to be something that took place within this savings matching program. We also feel that it's very important to have survivor-centered financial products. We talk about being financially secure, being able to feel financial freedom. And to be able to do that, it's important to be able to have financial products that support that and support you on your journey to financial freedom as well as eliminating restrictions. It's many restrictions that can take place with different types of savings matching program. Perhaps it's that you have to have, again, a bank account. Maybe you have to have a social security number, or, different things that would eliminate certain groups of folks, certain groups of survivors from being able to participate. So we wanted to take that away. Also, we wanted to have something that was self-reporting. We didn't want folks who are participating to have to submit bank statements or submit anything to show proof that they have saved. We trust that y'all know what you saved and that you can just report that on your own without us needing to verify that. So we incorporated a self-reporting system with that. And the way the self-reporting will work is through a survey that you would fill out monthly. And I'll go into that later. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on is just the fact that it's easy to participate. We didn't want anything that would create more obstacles, create more challenges. We wanted folks to be able to say, yes, I'm interested in participating, and that it's very easy for them to participate in the program in a way that would serve them and where you all are on your journeys. Okay, next slide, please. So the program works in the way that it is 6 months long, and you can participate one time. So I know I've had some questions from folks via email that said, "Hey, I participated in the savings matching program that was through Save Your Life. Am I eligible for this program as well?" And of course, yes, you definitely are, because this is a completely different program. This is our in-house program, and so we wanted to have that length of time for a good amount of time for folks to be able to save for that 6 months. And as you see a little bit later down on those bullets, we're matching up to $40 a month. And so our plan with that is that if we can get folks to be able to save $40 a month, and we're matching that $40 a month, and we're giving the $20 sign-on bonus, then we should have it where folks will be able to have at least $500 at the end of that 6 months. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to wait until the end of that 6 months to be able to use, the match or the savings. That's what savings is for you to be able to take from it when you need to. But that is our goal, is for folks to be able to have that emergency fund, or have that fund, for vacation or whatever else comes up. Many things that you all had named in the chat, but that was what our thinking was around that, and with the $40. It also is a program that is, as I mentioned, you'll participate in it one time. And so we want to make sure folks are able to get the most out of the program at their time of participation. And towards the end of the presentation, it'll be 4 questions that I would like you all to think about, just to make sure that right now is the right time for you to be able to get the most out of your matches. It is also invite only. So it's not a program right now that we have where you can forward, your invitation to anyone else. We are starting with our participants in our current programs, or maybe you have participated in our program in the past. So we're starting with our peer-to-peer participants, and also the trainees from our Survivor Wealth and Wellness training program. Once we get to a space where we are able to allow more folks to join, then we definitely will let you all know, and ask, even if you know of others that would be great participants, for this program. So you can look out for that when it comes. But for right now, we're asking that anything that we send to you, that you don't forward that along. And one other thing that we're doing is we are matching the records to who we sent the invites in, or invites out to. And so that way we're able to make sure that we have all the funding for everyone to be able to participate. And we make sure that we have, our database, and can provide support to folks throughout the program. This program is also a program that you will self-report, as I mentioned previously. So you will have that survey, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later, but you'll be self-reporting that you saved a certain amount every month. And it doesn't require social security number, proof of savings, bank account, or anything like that. Okay, it looks like I have a question that is coming in. So that's a great question. Is it a pilot program or just a start? So I would say that it can be seen as a pilot program because it's the first time that we are creating it, but it is a program that will continue after the 6 months. So it's going to be ongoing. And that's why, if perhaps right now you may not feel like this is the best time for you to get the most out of that match, then maybe you want to participate at another time. So right now you can just be receiving the information and can come in when you're ready. But thank you so much for that question. Okay, next slide, please. So it's a variety of ways that I'm sure all of y'all know that you could save. You can save if you have a savings account with your bank, the place that you bank with. So if you have a savings account with them, along perhaps with a checking account, and you can specifically put that money away in that place, and be able to really keep track. Okay, this is how much that was going in. This is how much that was going out. So what we'll be asking when you report those surveys is, at the end of the month for you to be able, or the previous month for what you'll be reporting on, for you to really be able to see how much did I have total that I contributed to my savings by also subtracting what you took out. So let's say you had $50 that you put in initially in the beginning of the month, for savings, and something came up and you had to use 25 of those dollars of the $50. So then you report that you saved $25. And as I mentioned, we're trusting that y'all will do that. It's not that we would be doing all of these checks to make sure you really did save how much you said you saved. But also, okay, it looks like, so just another FYI, yes, everything, this recording will be sent out to folks tomorrow. So anything that you missed, you'll be able to come up on. Also, some folks may not use, an online bank or a brick and mortar bank. And so they may want to use an app like Venmo or Cash App, to keep track of savings that way. PayPal also, or maybe you just want to go the traditional route and use cash. Some folks might have cash in the jar and save whatever way really that feels good and comfortable for you. So we just wanted to really highlight that it's not one way that you have to save. It's just about reporting how much you actually did save. And another thing that I'll mention is once you have that survey that you're reporting the savings with for the month, we're going to have examples. We're going to have all of that spelled out. You also will receive the FAQ that I originally sent out in the invite. You'll receive that again. So if you're confused about any of this, then you'll have plenty of opportunities to be able to clarify things. And also you can come to myself, or you can also talk to AK if you get confused about anything. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of information and I'm not sure. We're making it as easy as possible so that we'll be there every step of the way. All right, next slide, please. All right, so here we go, going into detail with how to report. So again, thinking about that monthly survey that I've been talking about, and that is when you're going to input the information to show how much you save for the month. So once you submit your monthly savings to us via the monthly survey, we're going to match your savings up to $40 a month and send you a payment via your preferred method on the 15th of the month, unless it falls on the weekend. And so in the initial intake survey, and I believe actually it's the monthly survey, then you'll be letting us know what payment form works best for you. And it will be either PayPal, Venmo, check in the mail. So you'll choose which one of those options would be the best for you. And so as it says, we'll be matching up to $40 a month. So if you save $30 for a month, then we would match that $30. If you save 40, we would match that 40. If you saved 60, we would match that 40, since the 40 is the max that we would be matching. You could also expect to receive your payment, because I know that's important. You want to know, all right, I've saved. When am I going to get paid? When am I going to get that match? So in 5 to 7 business days after the 15th, and also make sure to incorporate any holidays or weekends in that time frame as well. Then you would be receiving your payment in those 3 ways that I talked about. Now, if you do decide to do check in the mail, I would say that is going to be the method that's going to take the longest. And so perhaps Venmo and PayPal, if you want your money sooner, if you have access to that, then that's something that you would want to choose. So then we also have an example there. So if you submit your survey form saying that you save $35.77 in August, by September 10th, we would send you a matching payment of $35.77 on September 15th. And then you can expect to receive that 5 to 7 business days later. Once again, this can feel like a lot of information right now. And so don't think that you won't have support along the way with trying to track this information and report it correctly. Okay, next slide, please. So there are some dates that I would like you all to remember. And also one of the reasons that we wanted to make sure this was available via recording as well. September 1st, September 1st is the official start to the program. So you all received invitations, and on September 1st, you will actually begin your saving. And so if you sign up by August 25th, and by signing up, I mean you email me and you say, yes, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to participate now. Then your program will be beginning on September 1st. If you perhaps didn't let me know yet, and you're just, viewing this recording because you wanted more information, and you make your decision in October, let's say, then you wouldn't be starting the program September 1st. If you, let's say you made the decision October 23rd. So then your program would start November 1st. October 10th is also another important date. And these dates that you see on the screen are in relation to a September 1st start date. So that would mean that you would be starting right away. These dates would change as far as the month, depending on when you officially start. So October 10th, beginning to start the program on September 1st, is the date that your monthly savings survey will be due. Very, very important for that specific day. And AK is going to go into that in a couple more slides. But that's when you want to make sure that you fill in that monthly survey. And then October 15th, again, you begin the program on September 1st. That's the date that you'll receive your first matching payment. And it could seem like, oh my gosh, that's a long time away. But it is, because we're starting the program officially September 1st. We wanted to make sure folks had time between the invitation to the program start date to get into the groove of savings, if perhaps that wasn't something that they have been doing before, or, to really figure out if this is the program that they want to start right now and where they are financially. Okay. Next slide, please. So these are some important dates throughout the program. Sign up date. The last date to sign up for the following month is the 25th. And as you see with this example, I had already went over this example before. If you want to begin November 1st, you have to sign up by October 25th. If you want to begin December 1st, then you're going to sign up by November 25th. You could sign up earlier than the 25th, but that would be the cutoff date, so you can begin the first of that next month. So that's a date. If right now you said, okay, this is good information, I need to kind of chew on this a little bit more, I'm not perhaps ready to start with September 1st, keep in mind that specific date for when you would like to join. Next slide. Okay, so I have a question that's coming up. So the question is, for folks who join later, would they still get 6 months, or will they just join where everyone else is who started in August? Is it cohort style? That's a great question. So your 6 months will start from the time that you sign up. So, and we wanted to have this program as a rolling program. So it's not where it is only a program that's just going to last, from September 1st to, I think the first cohort, if we want to call it, would end in March of next year. So you will end 6 months from your start date. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Am I going to be comfortable financially to be able to save for 6 months from the time that I start? That's something to think about when you decide if you're ready to join right now. Okay. So another date to remember is the first of the month. So the first of the month is when you're going to receive an email reminder to complete your monthly surveys. We want to set y'all up for success. And one way that we're making sure that we do that is to provide you with reminders. So you'll get emails from myself. Also, you may be receiving emails from Anakaren as well, just so, because we know it's so much that everybody has going on, and it's very easy to forget certain things. So perhaps if you're not the type that can plug in dates into your calendar, then you can just make sure that you're monitoring your emails and keep a lookout for different things that I would be sending your way, or Anakaren would be sending your way. But the first of the month is when you'll receive that reminder to say, hey, don't forget that your monthly survey is due on the 10th. Let's make sure that we get that in so you can get paid. Again, AK is going to talk about that. And right now, okay, so the 10th of the month, Anakaren, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, so the 10th of the month is a really important day because that's when surveys are due. That's when you'll be reporting how much you saved for your previous month, right? So if you're submitting your survey on October 10th, that means that you're reporting your savings for September. And so we just want to make sure that you get them in on time. I'm part of the team that's going to be issuing the payments. So in order for us to do that, we need your surveys. So yeah, in order for this program to be successful, right, in order for it to, just be as easy peasy as possible, then we need to remember these really, really important dates. So I just wanted to ask you all, because I know we're adults, we get busy, things come up. What are ways that you set up reminders for yourself or for other people for important dates, for payments, etc.? What do you all usually do? So we can just kind of brainstorm and share with each other some ideas for phone alarm, Google Calendar, email alerts, text alerts, Google Calendar. Yeah, get the text. Reminder on my phone calendar. Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways, right? But yeah, if you already have maybe like if you have it on your calendar and it helps to set up an alarm when you know you're gonna have time during the day, then that's a great way. But there's some great ideas there, right? Computer reminder as well. So sticky notes, right? Like whatever helps you, a sticky note in the fridge, writing on your notebook if you have one. But yeah, just making sure that you have these dates. And I think the more once you get rolling on the program, it's going to be easier and easier to remember too. Mhm.
Thank you so much, AK. I think it's great, that y'all also are sharing with each other, because sometimes it may be something that we don't even think of, like, oh, that's a really good idea. I know for myself, I have the calendar reminders. I have an iPhone, so I have my reminders on my iPhone, so I know if it's something that a bill due or something that I cannot forget, then I get that notification just in case. Yeah, I've got the notification on my calendar, but I didn't pay attention to it. But that reminder comes with an alarm. So it's like making sure I set my reminder at a time that I know I would have available. So whatever really works for you to be able to have these dates in mind. And we didn't want to have too many dates for y'all to remember. So it's not too much that you'll have to keep track of. All right. And then the next day is the 15th of the month. That is a very important date. Why is that an important date? That's the date you get your payment. So that's like payday for your matching payment. So you want to keep that in mind. And of course, like I've mentioned, unless it falls on the weekend or a holiday. And the thing is that I also want to make sure that y'all know is, if you're having any issues with your payment, if you haven't received your payment, you were told that you were going to receive it and it hasn't come through, excuse me, contact me, contact Anakaren. Anakaren, I believe you mentioned this earlier, but if you're more comfortable speaking in Spanish, then go ahead and directly contact Anakaren. In the invite email, Anakaren's information is all the way at the bottom. And so you would have that if that's how you would be more comfortable in communicating. And even if you email me, then I would just send that out to AK to be able to respond. So yes, don't forget about the payday. Okay, next slide, please. Are you ready to join? That's the question of the hour. Again, don't forget that this is a one-time program and it's not going anywhere. So don't feel like you're missing out if you need, a couple more months to make sure that you are in a good place to be able to participate. But let's go through a few questions to consider. So it's 4 questions to think about. Number 1, do you have enough spare income to save $40 each month for at least 6 months at this current time? Of course, you're not required to save $40 a month. But again, we want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your match. So because we're matching up to $40 a month, we want to make sure you get that full match. And so just thinking through, is right now the best time for 6 months, not just the next couple of months. But when you're thinking through that, is that $40 you can put to the side. If not right now, there's no shame in that. It's no shame in you waiting to make sure that it's actually going to be a time that's going to serve you and for you to be able to get the full match from this program. The second question, do you have access to an internet connection through your smartphone, tablet, computer, any other device to fill out a monthly survey that will document how much you saved each month? You know, AK talked about how important the 10th was for you to make sure you fill it out. Shoot, maybe even when you get the email from me on the first, you say, let me just go ahead and take care of this right now. I know how much I saved for the previous month. Again, you're reporting for that previous month on the first or before the 10th. So you would already know how much you saved. But making sure that you can access that for the next 6 months, and maybe you don't have access to a consistent internet connection for that, but you have, a friend or, a colleague or someone that could be able to assist you with that. We want to make sure you have that. The third question to think about is, do you have a safe way to store your savings? Perhaps you're moving around, might not have a secure place to keep your money or track your savings. If you're keeping your money in cash, is it a safe place for you to be able to save that? And again, you don't have to wait that 6 months to spend your savings. You don't have to, report to us that you spent it or this is what you did. Of course, we would want to know, how have you spent it? Was this helpful? Things like that to help us with the structure of the program. But for yourself, just make sure that you keep that in mind. But just thinking through, is it a safe way through banking, through one of the apps that I mentioned? Just a place for you to be able to secure that. Maybe you don't have that right now, so you want to wait until you have that to participate in the program. And the last one, do you have a safe way to receive your monthly matches? Do you have a PayPal account, Venmo, a safe address that we could send a check to? Even a bank account. Like, do you have something where you're able to receive these monthly matches? So we want to make sure that you can answer yes to all four of those questions without a doubt. If you're like, I'm not sure, that's okay. We don't want you to feel that you have to be rushed to participate in this program at all. We want to make sure that you know that it's still going to be here, and we want to be here for you when you're ready. And so think through this before you, even if you say yes to participate, you can always send me an email and say, you know what, after considering these questions, I think I want to wait a little bit longer to make sure I'm good for the 6 months, and I could at least do that $40 a month, and I can go ahead and change that date to when you're ready to participate. Okay, next slide, please. So what's the next steps? Many of you already have said, I'm ready to go right now. That's great. Like I said, you can come and you can change your mind and let me know, actually, I'm not ready quite yet. But you would let me know regardless. Yes, I'm ready to participate. Yes, I would like to participate, but I'm not ready to join right now. Or I said yes to you, but I want to wait. And this is the month that I would like to start. Or no, I'm actually not interested in participating. And your no could mean no permanently, or it could mean just no right now. So whatever feels right, for you, these are the next steps that you would take as far as participating in this program. And I actually have a comment that just came in the chat that I'll read for everyone. Someone said that I've been thinking about this and looking at my budget since the first email, and I just decided I'm ready to start and made my first deposit to my savings right now. Wow, congratulations. That is excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very, very happy to hear that. Very, very happy to hear any wins that y'all want to share. Us at the Free From team, we like to just share with everybody, like, oh my gosh, look, this, this happened. This is exciting. So congratulations on that. So something else that is going to happen for y'all is you're going to receive a welcome email. If you said, yes, I'm ready to participate, then you will receive a welcome email from me. In the welcome email, what you will have, among some other things, but the most important things that you'll have in there is this recording of this presentation. So you'll be able to go back on your own time. Maybe you came in a little bit late, or maybe it might take you a little bit longer to really receive all the information. You'll have that, and you'll also have an intake survey. So the intake survey is going to be your official in to the program. If you haven't completed the intake survey, we haven't received it, then yes, you've told me you're interested, but we don't have you in the database. We don't have you, or I shouldn't say in the database because we have y'all there, but we don't have you in the portion of the database to say this person has started and has completed the intake survey and is ready to go September 1st. So once you receive that email from me, you'll receive this email tomorrow. Once you receive that, I would highly encourage you to fill out that intake survey right away. If you can do it that day, maybe not that day, maybe you don't have time, but just sometime the rest of the week, the weekend, get that done as soon as possible so we have you good to go September 1st. But again, you have until August 25th. So you have plenty of time. But if you have to make that email unread, so or flag it, whatever you need to, make a reminder on your phone, whatever you need to do, to make sure that you're ready and good to go. The other thing that I will say, and I actually just forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to pause right now while I try to remember what I was going to say. AK, is there anything that you could think of that would be really important for folks to know?
Not necessarily, but I'm looking at the chat and just seeing all the excitement around, people being ready and somebody saying like, I'm starting off small, but I'm starting, and that's super exciting. And we're really happy that you all are taking this step and, joining us for this conversation. And then looking at the next steps, making sure that you're replying to M, right, with yes, I'm ready to participate via email. So it's not just in the chat. And then making sure that once M sends out the survey tomorrow, you go ahead and fill that out and send it right over. Also, for the folks who are Spanish speakers, we're also going to be sending the email and survey in Spanish. So you'll be able to fill that out in your preferred language as well. Mm-hmm.
So I saw it came in the chat, and also AK, you mentioned it as well. You haven't received the email yet for the intake survey. That's coming tomorrow, and it's going to come with a little more information. The emails that you receive from me may feel like they are long, because they are. And it's because it's a lot of information that I wanted to make sure you had and that you could refer back to. Further down along in the program, the emails will be shorter. It's not as much information that you would need to have right on, but I highly encourage you to read through the entire email. Take some time to read through, because it might be some questions that you think of that were already answered within the email. Of course, I have no problem with answering questions again, but make sure you're looking through that email. You may even want to go back to that welcome email, after this webinar, and see if there was anything that you missed or any follow-up questions that you have. If you've already emailed me and said, yes, I'm ready to participate, I already have that information recorded for you to receive the welcome email tomorrow. If you haven't, then that's when I would say, go ahead and send me that email. Before we get into questions, you can go ahead and advance the slide. Before we get into questions, the other thing that I'll say, because if any of you all are like me and you're very much of a planner, you want to know what else, should I be prepared for? What else should I expect? So you sign up, you say, yes, I'm ready to participate. You get the welcome email. You fill out the intake survey, right? That comes in the welcome email. Then what you'll receive, and this is all if you are signing up right now. Then what you'll receive on September 1st is an email that just talks about, getting prepared to save, like saying, all right, your saving starts right now. Again, we really are heavy on the reminders to make sure that y'all know. So you'll receive that reminder email September 1st that's saying your program begins tips on saving. And then the next email that you'll receive will be October 1st. And October 1st will be a monthly email that you'll receive, or the monthly survey, I should say, within that email. And that is when you'll receive the survey that you'll record. This is how much I saved for the month of September. Going forward, every month on the 1st, up until I believe it would be March 1st, then you would report how much you saved for that previous month. So for October, you're reporting by the 10th. Don't forget the 10th. That's probably the most important date. By the 10th, you're reporting, this is how much I saved for September. Then November 1st, you get an email that says, hey, monthly reminder to fill out your survey to say how much you saved. You're reporting for October. So you're always reporting the previous month. And I know I tend to talk slower when I'm trying to explain information, because I like when people talk slower to me when information is explained. So I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I'm just doing what usually works for me. And I just want to make sure y'all can understand the flow of emails that will be coming in, which is why, again, it's important as you participate. That's another question. That's like the fifth question. Do you have the capacity to check your emails frequently for things that we would be sending? Sometimes it may even be information that we're sending about a safety fund. And because you're participating in this program, we're sending it to you. And we want to make sure you know that information right away, or any resources that come up. So do you have the capacity to be able to consistently check the emails? Because that's how I'll be communicating with y'all. Okay, I've talked a lot. I've provided a lot of information. I will be providing ongoing reminders, ongoing emails, ongoing communication. You can always feel free to reach out to me, even after this presentation. Like, okay, I still don't get this. Then I'm here to provide that info as best as I can. Or Anakaren as well. Very easy person to talk to, I will tell you that. Do y'all have questions? Hopefully I did a good job, and AK did a good job of presenting information, but there can still be questions. So do y'all have questions? And thank y'all for the compliments. Y'all so sweet. Well, I don't see any questions. So what I will just remind y'all is never be afraid throughout the program, from the date you start participating, of course, or even before. Never be afraid to reach out and ask questions. Even if you've asked me the question 3 times, I'm not going to get mad. Don't ever think that. Just, I want to make sure that you are able to understand and, again, get the fullest match out of the program. But yeah, so if you haven't emailed me and said, yes, I'm ready to participate, please do that soon. That was the other thing. Now I finally remembered. Our office will be shutting down for 2 weeks. We like to shut down twice a year to practice self-care and to make sure we're able to really be there and bring our full selves to y'all, that are program participants and just interacting with us on different pillars throughout our work. And so we will be shut down from the 26th of July until the 8th of August. So if you contact me during that time, I won't be responding because I will be taking a step back, of course, from email during that time on vacation. So just be prepared for that delay in response. Perhaps you have something that comes up while we're all out on vacation. Then I will respond to that as soon as I come back in that Monday, August 9th. So that's when I will come back in. Another thing that I'll say is, if email isn't the best way for you to be able to communicate, or you doesn't feel the most comfortable, if you look in the signature of my of the emails that I've sent you, at the bottom you'll see my signature. Then it's a cell phone number in there, so you can text that number as well. You can call or text. I'm pretty fast in responding via email. But if you feel more comfortable with text, then you can go ahead and do that. Any information that you're providing to us throughout the program, especially, I know it's very, your financial information, it's very sensitive. We safeguard all of that. Everything is protected. Everything is confidential. Eventually, even with us creating a report down the line, we won't have anything that would connect anything directly back to you, because we want to make sure y'all feel that you can trust us through anything, any product that we're providing you or anything else. So I don't think I have anything else to say. I think now I'm just like running on. All right. Feel free. Watch this as many times as you need to. Again, we'll send it out tomorrow. The intake survey you'll receive in the welcome email tomorrow. Make sure you fill that out right away if you're starting September 1st. If you want to change your mind and start later, just send me a quick email and say that you're not ready to start right now. But go ahead and send that out. Our last day in the office is this Friday. So these next couple days, if you are thinking through anything or you need anything, would be critical to that. Otherwise, I'll be back on the 9th of August and we'll be getting ready to go for y'all. AK, any final thoughts?
Nope, just super excited, and we'll be sharing everything. So all materials will be shared tomorrow. So
Yes.
can look out.
Very, very, very excited for y'all to join. Very, oh my gosh, we've been so excited. So, all right, y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday, wonderful rest of the week. And we look forward to working with y'all. We look forward to having y'all as part of the program. Welcome. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Thank you.